morning. As you know, in the last video I have given you some numericals. So I hope that you have completed it. If any difficulty is there, please let me know in the same WhatsApp group so that I can solve all those things. But first two are very easy. Only third one is the bit difficult. But you follow the integrated rate equation for the gaseous reactant that you can solve. So there is no issue with that one. Some other numericals are also there. I will give you in the subsequent videos. Now here two important informations are there. Number one is the all natural reactions follow the first order reaction. Whatsoever natural reactions are there, they will follow the first order reaction only. Second one is the all natural and artificial radioactive reactions follow the first order reaction. So you know in our nature there are so many natural and artificial radioactive reactions. So these artificial or natural radioactive reactions, they also follow the first order reactions only. First order integrated rate equation. So this is one of the example of radioactive substance. Radium, you know, the radium is the radioactive substance. When it disintegrates, it forms radon 86-222 plus 2He4, which is written above, means as a superscript. That is the mass. Mass means what? Atomic mass. And which is written as a subscript. That is the atomic number. So always remember, this is basically mass number 226. There is the difference between atomic mass and mass number. Mass number is sum of proton plus neutron. But what is the atomic mass? Atomic mass is the mass of an atom of an element which is heavier than 1/12th mass of carbon-12 isotopes. So this is mass number. Generally we use the word atomic mass and mass number interchangeably, but there is a basic difference, and that difference I have already told you. Once again I am repeating, this is mass number. Mass number is sum of proton plus neutron number, and atomic mass is the how many times an atom of an element is heavier than 1/12th mass of carbon-12 isotopes. So this is the mass number. It will disintegrate into radon Rn 86-222 plus 2He4. If you will sum the mass number of this one and this one, so you will get 226. Similarly, 86 plus 2 equal to 88. So sum of atomic masses of reactant and product should be same. Means their atomic number should also be same and mass number should also be same. There is another difference between atomic mass and mass number. Mass number always will be in the whole number because it is the sum of proton and neutron. And can you see that proton and neutron will be in the fraction? No. So mass number is always in whole number, while atomic mass may be in fractional also. So in this way, these two information you should incorporate, and these are important because you know the pattern of question paper is changed. In 1 marks question, anything they can ask. Now I am going to teach you half-life period. Half-life period. So as I told you that now I will teach you the half-life period. So I am going to teach you. What is the half-life period? Number one thing is it is denoted by T half. T means time, half. So actually what is the definition of half-life period? Half-life period is nothing but it is the time taken to complete the half of the reaction. Means the time in which half of the reactants gets completed into product or reactant gets disintegrated into product from its initial concentration. Suppose any reaction is there. If its half of the concentration gets converted into product from its initial concentration, so that time is known as half-life period. Means in half time, half of the concentration of reactant gets completed into product or gets disintegrated into product from its initial concentration. So remember, suppose one particular concentration is there. Suppose 50 mole liter inverse. 50 mole liter inverse reactant concentration is there. And in suppose total time to disintegrate this one into product is 1 hour. So suppose in 30 minutes, how much concentration of reactant is gets completed into or gets converted into product. So that time is known as half-life period. So half-life period is nothing but a time in which half of the concentration of reactant gets converted into product from its initial concentration. So what is the initial concentration? Initial concentration is 50 mole liter inverse. Suppose out of 50 mole liter inverse, its 25 mole liter inverse gets completed into or gets converted into product in 30 minutes. So at 30 minutes, what is the concentration of now reacting species? 25 mole liter inverse. So this is half-life period. So once again, half-life period is nothing but a time in which half of the concentration of reacting species gets converted into product from its initial concentration. So always half-life period calculated from initial concentration only. What was the initial concentration? And at half of the time, what was the concentration of that initial concentration gets converted into product? That is half-life period. And half-life period for the zero order reaction and half-life period for the first order reaction is different. So I will derive the expression for that one and their important conclusion. Half-life period for zero order reaction. Let us say this is one hypothetical reaction. R equal to product. You can take A also. I don't have any problem. So K equal to what is it? Rate equal to K R and here raised to the power 0 because it is a zero order reaction. So rate equal to what we can write? K only for zero order reaction. And what is the integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction? The integrated rate equation for the zero order reaction equal to K equal to here R0 minus R divided by T is there. Okay, where R0 equal to initial concentration and R equal to concentration at time t. So just see, suppose this is concentration, R equal to concentration at time t. Suppose this time is half. So what just try to understand, we can write here T half equal to here R, and in half-life period what would be there? Half of the initial concentration, means half of the reaction gets completed from its initial concentration. So in place of R, what we can write? R0 by 2, means at half of the time, the R, that was the concentration at time t. So at that time, from its initial concentration, half of the concentration is reduced. So now fill this value in place of R. What we have to write? We have to write this value. Means at time t, half of the concentration is over. So in place of R, we can write R0 by 2 because it means R is the concentration at time t and its half of the concentration at t half gets completed into product from its initial concentration. So R equal to R0 by 2. Remember, half of the concentration gets completed into product from its initial concentration. So in place of R, so we can write R0 by 2. Fill this value here. So that K equal to what is there? R0 minus minus r0 by 2 divided by t. So here it is better to write t half, no problem. So now k equal to what is there? K equal to take LCM. So LCM equal to here 2. LCM 2. Now 2r0 minus r0. So divided by t half. So dear cadets, again I am writing this one because here clarity may not be there. So what is the k equal to? K equal to 2 here r0 minus r0 by 2 and further by t half. So here what we can write? We can write here k equal to, stop. So dear cadets, here 2r0 minus r0. So here we can write r0 because in 2r0 minus r0 equal to 1r0, and here we can write 2t half. So now here we can write like that also. T half equal to here r0 by 2k. So this is half-life period for zero order reaction. Just see, now at the end I have changed this one t half. Since beginning only you can do this one. In place of k you can write this one t half. So up to you. So half-life period for zero order reaction is equal to r0 by 2k. And now we can draw here two important conclusion also. Half-life period for zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration, but it is inversely proportional to rate constant. That should be written also. So dear cadets, we can write here two conclusions. What is that one? Half-life period for zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration, as it is written here. And the second one is half-life period for zero order reaction is inversely proportional to rate constant. So this was for the zero order reaction. Now half-life period for first order reaction. So now half-life period for first order reaction. So half-life period for first order reaction equal to rate equal to kr. And now what is the integrated rate equation for the first order reaction? K equal to 2.303 divided by t. Here what is there? Log, and here what is there? r0 by r. Now try to understand here. R0 is the initial concentration, and this r is the concentration at time t. So in half-life period, in place of r, what you will write? r0 by 2, because r is the concentration at time t, and t is their half-life period. So what is the definition of half-life period? Half of the concentration gets converted into product from its initial concentration. So at time t is t half. So in place of r, what should be written? r0 by 2. So same can be written like that also. If r equal to r0 by 2 at t half. So this expression can be written like that. K equal to 2.303 divided by t half. Here what is there? Log, here r0, and here what is there? r0 by 2. r0 by 2. So now again I am writing this side. So this can be written k equal to you can write t half equal to 2.303 divided by k, and here what was there? log R0 by R0 by 2. So this can be written T half equal to 2.303 by K log, and here 2, here R0 by R0. So R0 cancel out. Here T half equal to 2.303 K, and here what is there? Log 2, and log 2 value equal to log 2 equal to 0.3010, 0.3010. So dear cadets, now I am writing this one this side. So T half equal to 2.303 divided by K into log 2 value is 0.3010. 0.3010. So T half equal to 0.693 divided by K. This is half-life period for first order reaction. And here also half-life period for zero order reaction is inversely proportional to rate constant. And now the one important fact here regarding the half-life period for first order reaction is initial concentration term is not involved here. Means T half for first order reaction is initial concentration term is not here. Only K is there and 0.693. So dear cadets, this T half equal to 0.693 divided by K is our half-life period for first order reaction. Now what is the conclusion here? Two important conclusion. Half-life period for first order reaction is independent from initial concentration. Means if you see the expression, initial concentration term, that is R0, has not come in the final expression. So half-life period for the first order reaction is independent from the initial concentration, that is R0. Second one is half-life period for first order reaction is inversely proportional to the rate constant. It is also inversely proportional. So what is the difference and similarity between zero order half-life period and first order half-life period? In zero order half-life period, what is there? Initial concentration term is present, is involved. Means half-life period for zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration. But in case of first order half-life period, what is there? Initial concentration term is not involved, not present. Now, so this was the difference. What is the similarity? Half-life period for zero order reaction, half-life period is inversely proportional to the rate constant. Same is the case with the half-life period for the first order reaction. Dear cadets, with the help of first order reaction, first order integrated rate equation, we can calculate the time taken to complete the any fraction of the reactant into product. Means we can calculate the time taken to calculate the any fraction of the reactant into product with the help of that equation. So just try to understand. Suppose, note down one thing. To calculate time taken to complete the 1/3 of the reactant concentration into product. To calculate the time taken to complete the 1/3 of the reactant concentration into product. Means what is the time taken? So just try to understand what is our K equal to 2.303. Directly we can write here P 1/3 equal to 2.303 by K. Here log, here what is there? R0 divided by R. We can write this equation also. P 1/3 equal to 2.303 divided by K. Here log A by A minus X. Okay. So either one you can use. So we have done for this one. Now I am going to use this one. So just try to understand what is A here, initial concentration. What is X here? X is here the concentration of reactant which gets completed into product. So just see here, P 1/3 equal to what is there? 2.303 divided by K, and here what is there? Log, here A, and here what is there? A minus 1/3 A. Means X means, what is X here? 1/3 of the reactant concentration gets completed into product. So we should write here 1/3 A. A is the initial concentration that must be there. What is the meaning of 1/3? Means 1/3 of the reactant concentration gets completed into product from its initial concentration. So here what is there? P 1/3 equal to what is there? 2.303 divided by K. Here what is there? Log, here A, and here what is there? Take the LCM. 3, here 3A minus A. So if you simplify this one, so it will be P 1/3 equal to 2.303 divided by K, and here what is there? Log 3A by 2A. So this A and A will be the 3A minus A equal to 2A, and this 3 will go up. So ultimately what we will have? We will have here P 1/3 equal to 2.303 by K log 3/2. This is our final equation. So I hope that you have got. Suppose second one, to calculate the time taken to complete the 3/4. Now I am changing this one. 3/4 of the reactant concentration into product. So equation is this one only. There is no problem. So here what you will write? 3/4. That is equal to this is only. No problem at all. Now here things will be changed. Here what would be there? 3/4. 2.303 by K. Log A minus. Here what would be there? 3/4 A. So now here if you see the expression, so now here 4A minus 3A by 4. So 4A minus 3A by 4. So here what would be the expression of the expression? So now here A by 4A minus 3A by 4. So what we can write here? 4A by 4A minus 3A equal to A. So A will be cancelled out. In this expression, what we will have? We will have directly here log 4. So in this way, we can calculate the time taken to complete the any fraction of the reactant into product. Fraction. It doesn't mean that only half-life period. Half-life period means any time. What would be the time to complete the 3/4 will be equal to here 3/4 only. 3/4. Here also 3/4 only. How much time will be taken? 3/4 time is taken. So that is the extension of half-life period expression. You can understand in this way only. And there are some numericals which are based on these expressions, these derivations, and you should be perfect in solving those mathematical means numericals. So we'll give the practice for that one also. For today, that is the sufficient. Please take care. Read this one thoroughly. If any problem is there, you can ask directly on the same forum, same group. Thank you.